Well, g'day, and welcome back again to Zhaoqing, and we're down here today at Eastgate Square, which is down here behind Seven Star Lake. We have Seven Star Crag Scenic Area behind us, which we'll put the drone up and get some footage out over there for you. But we're off into the square today to have a look at what's going on. We've got a big stage set up, and looks like a heap of stalls and stuff set up. Looks like arts, crafts, food. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what it's in aid of, but there seems to be a lot of stuff going on down here. Down here at, wow, see that bird fly? I don't know if we caught that in the camera. A bird just flew past really, really close. So down here on the waterfront, we've actually got a heap of different groups of ladies doing various routines. We have, looks like cheerleading stuff here in the yellow. Not sure what it is in the red or in the pink, but off doing whatever they're doing. They might be involved with the performances that are happening up here on this stage up in front of us. We're going to try and move past here pretty quick because they've all got not live, but they've all got music playing. So we want to avoid the whole copyright strike thing. So we'll try and keep that to a minimum. We've also got a lot of music playing up on the stage here, so we're just going to see how we go with this. But yeah, this square here is a beautiful area. It's absolutely stunning, and these, yeah, not sure what these ladies are doing behind us. They got guy with quite a professional looking camera set up there, so I don't know if it looks like they're filming, so maybe doing something for social media or something along those lines. I'm not entirely sure. Looks like we might have a performance on here tonight. I walked down past here and it looked like they were doing rehearsals, you know, dress rehearsals or something for a show tonight. Yeah, lots of stopping and starting. They had what looks like a rhythmic gymnastics group up there earlier, doing sort of balls, hoops, skipping ropes, a lot of sort of gymnastics sort of stuff involving equipment. So that looked pretty good. So we'll whip our camera around here. Oh, we've still got the gymnastic stuff on the stage here at the moment, which is pretty cool. I do like the gymnastics. And then we've got all of these stalls along the side here which look really good. So we're going to just have a stroll past here, have a quick look at what's going on. I wasn't intending on making a video today, but there's heaps of stuff going on. So we've got some various boxed foods and stuff you can buy. And then we have some inkstone stuff, which we've seen lots of lately. So we have the inkstones, and then the behind them, the imprints that they've done as artwork, which is really nice. Wow, look at this. Ah, so this one here is this piece of artwork behind. Oh, and the ducks down here match up with this one. So this is what we saw the kids doing at the Inkstone Museum during the festival, where they put paper over the inkstone and then trace over it with a pencil or something, and get the imprint, and then you can frame it, put it on your wall. It looks really good. So lots more local sort of food stuff here. We actually, back at the Inkstone Museum as well, we actually contacted, well, met a girl who runs, oh, have a look at some of this stuff. Look at this artwork. Hello.
Hey, hello.
This is gorgeous. Really, really nice stuff. And then we have bracelets, all sorts of different things here. Yes. Oh, look at this. Very, very nice. Okay, so we'll move around, we'll get around to the other side here and see what else we've got on display. We've also got a heap of, well, I was going to say banners. They're not really banners, they're all stood up on frames, but yeah, a heap of stuff up here. Looks like it's all sort of local tourist stuff. I don't know what this is made of. There's no holiday at the moment. The next holiday is a couple of weeks away, where we have the Dragon Boat Festival coming up at the end of May. So we've got some more local artwork here. Oh, look at these little water bottles. Wow, look at them. They're really cool. Very nice. Oh, and then we've got some copper work down here. Wow, really nice teapots. Hello. Have a look at these. Absolutely gorgeous. Wow. And then some ladles, more teapots, all sorts of cool stuff. And then we have some cane work. So we see the lady down the back here actually working with the cane, creating whatever she's creating. But yeah, very, very nice. And then moving along, we've got some more inkstone stuff here, which is very cool. Oh, and look at these pictures here, wow. So these have all got wire embossed into them. So this one here is actually a photograph, and they've put wire embossing in it. Oh, and here we've got Pai Phong Square. Is that Pai Phong Square or is it? That doesn't look right for Pai Phong Gate. Very, very nice. Oh, and some ink printing stuff. So, printing these ink work. So we've got the little molds down here with the brush. So you can come and, looks like you can come and create your own things there. It is very, very cool. And then looks like local sort of things. Hello. So it looks like postcards, bookmarks, all sorts of stuff here. Very good. And then looks like tourist information down the end. Inkstone, capital of China, and Jiaqing Tourist Guide. Okay, so it is tourist stuff. Okay, so looks like our gymnasts have finished over there. We're going to duck over the other side of the stage here. We've got another row of tents over this way, and we'll see what's going on this way. Oh, we've got gates being put up around the stage area, so they must be getting ready for tonight's performance. Oh, and up around here we have a heap of pictures, various different artwork. So it looks like, well, I don't know. Some of it is hand-drawn pictures like these, and then if we go over the other side, we also have a heap of photos. So it's just, yeah, it looks like it's just advertising Jiaqing to the general population. Well, maybe it's advertising it to people from Jiaqing, try and get them out and exploring their community a little bit more. Oh wow, look at this picture of this, the old temple on the old wall, all lit up. I remember going to this show. So this happened over Chinese New Year. It was an amazing event. Oh, here we have another picture of the same night with the dragon dancers. Wow. That was amazing. The light show they did was really, really good. So heading over this side, let's have a look what we've got down here. So we've got oils down the end here. Got more food stuff in here. I don't really do much of the food stuff. I'm not much of a food person. But then more sort of locally made craft stuff, postcards. Hello. All sorts of things. Oh wow, look at these. Really, really nice. Some heavy trolley being pushed past beside us. And then we've got these ice creams. These are all made for local things. More local crafts. Okay, we've got gear being unloaded here. So more food stuff, noodles. Looks like we've got some dried fruit, dried meats in there. So yeah, looks like this side is more about the local foods. Looks like some form of tea, more things to put in when you're cooking your meat, sort of pastes and the like. Yeah, we were just out for a bike ride. I didn't know any of this was going on. Looks like soy sauce there. They do a good job when they're doing these sorts of events. Certainly get people out of the house and exploring the place. Intangible cultural heritage. So yeah, all food on this side. I lose a bit of interest when we get into the food stuff. So yeah, this will be a fairly briefish little video, but yeah, just came across this. I had no intention of making a video today. I wasn't even going to leave the house. I was pretty pretty okay with just sitting around home today and chilling out and having a rest. I've done so much walking in the last couple of weeks, but came across this happening out here, figured I'd give you a look. So while we're here, actually, we might actually cover another subject, which we actually covered in the last video, the responding to YouTube comments. But I was sort of thinking about it even as I was talking and thinking I really should do a video about the question that was asked. And that was, what are the advantages to living in Zhaoqing? I can't remember who asked it, can't remember the exact question, but it was basically, you know, why here? Why not a bigger city? What are the disadvantages? So we might talk a little bit more about that because just because, why not? So Zhaoqing. I guess we start off, why am I here? I'm here, well, mainly because this is where the job I was offered was. I originally planned to be here for 5 years. I sort of said to my school, I said to the Frankel when I first, maybe not when I first arrived, but after I've been here a few months, I sort of said, look, I'll be here for, I'll guarantee you 5 years. You know, I'll stick around. The school had done a lot of work to get me here, a lot of paperwork and stuff, so I sort of guaranteed them 5 years. And I've been here 8 now, and I have no desire to leave. This place has just grabbed me. I do love the place. I am still going to go off and explore other parts of China, but they'll be holidays. I, originally thought I'll come here 5 years, then head up north, or head out to the east, or head out to the west and spend time somewhere else exploring somewhere new. But no, I've got too many good friends here. I really love my job. I love my school, love my students, so I'm happy to stay. So, now this person was talking about retiring in China. I think, yeah, it was American, in their 50s, looking for somewhere to retire. Would I recommend Zhaoqing? Yes. Zhaoqing's actually a really good choice, I think. If you want somewhere a little bit more laid back, if you don't want to be in a big, busy, bustling city like Guangzhou or Shenzhen or Shanghai. Advantages to Zhaoqing. It is smaller, it is more relaxed. The streets are a lot quieter other than rush hour. You know, rush hour in the morning, rush hour in the evening. It does get very, very busy. But generally during the day, evening times, it's not too bad except for holiday periods. Jiaqing, as I've mentioned before, Jiaqing is a sort of national holiday destination here in China. Don't get many international tourists, but you do get a lot of national tourists. It is a big, big holiday place. So holiday periods, the place does get really, really busy. So yeah, laid back. It's a little cheaper than somewhere like Guangzhou, Shenzhen. And yet we're close enough to those places. You can get on the train pretty much Guangzhou, Shenzhen, Hong Kong, Macau. You can get to any of them places within 2 hours. So we're not that far away. If you need to go to the big places and get things or do things or whatever, it's not a big struggle. In fact, a lot of people now, I'm told, a lot of Guangzhou people are actually buying apartments out in Dinghu, and they'll have a small, little maybe 1-bedroom apartment, or even maybe just a single room in Guangzhou where they stay during the week. And then they buy a place here and come and spend their weekends here. It's better for their, if you've got families and stuff, young kids, much better environment for the young ones to live in. And yeah, they can get on the train, in the high-speed train, they can be in Guangzhou in 45 minutes. So to get over there for work is not a problem. Some people probably even commute daily. It's, if they're working near Guangzhou South Station, it might be quicker actually to live here and get the high-speed rail than it is to live on the outskirts of Guangzhou and have to get the subway all the way in. So yeah, Jiaqing, it is a growing city. It probably won't be so small and relaxed for a long time, but at the moment it is. Other advantages. There's lots of nature around you. There's lots of green spaces. There's lots of mountains all around us. Dinghu Mountain, the General Mountain up that way. We've got Golden Elephant Mountain over in Gaoyao, and lots of other mountains around us. So yeah, plenty of nature around if you like to get out of the city and into a bit of countryside. Yeah, so it's a good spot to retire. And you've got things like this over here happening all the time. There's always stuff going on here. I love it. Disadvantages to living in Jiaqing. Depends on where you come from. If you're coming from a big city and you like that city life, Jiaqing's sort of halfway there, but you might prefer Guangzhou, Shenzhen, Shanghai, those big places. You might find them more comfortable if that's the sort of thing you're interested in. There are lots of parks and that sort of thing over in those places as well. Don't get me wrong, when I say there's lots of nature stuff here, there's lots of nature stuff. They've preserved a lot of that stuff in those other places as well, but it can be harder to find from my experience. But I've not lived there. I don't know those places well enough. I might be entirely wrong on that. Other disadvantages. If you come from a small town, it might still be too big for you here. You might prefer somewhere smaller. So there are lots of smaller places within. So when I'm talking Jiaqing, I'm generally talking about Duanzhou, the area here, the main sort of part of Jiaqing where I live. But there's many, many other areas. You get out the back of Gaoyao, it's much more village-like. You get out parts of Dinghu. We actually spoke to someone this morning, a fellow Australian I just met this morning, who we contacted through one of my YouTube videos. He came across me and he got in contact with me, so we're going to try and catch up sometime in the future. He lives out in what was the place he said? Guangning, out near Jinli, this place here, which is where we'll be going here in a couple of weeks for dragon boat races, which is really, really good. I really enjoy that day out there. So there's lots of other little places further out. Oh, of course, my favourite place over Yunfu, Sing Sing. Yeah, I couldn't recommend that highly enough. Other disadvantages to Zhaoqing. Food. It is very, okay, so one of the things that this person mentioned in their comment was liking the Western lifestyle. Now, that depends on what you mean by Western lifestyle. If you're talking food, you're not going to get much of it here. You can generally get all the ingredients you need if you're happy to cook for yourself. In terms of meat, pork and chicken. Beef is quite expensive. Lamb, I very, very rarely see lamb or mutton available. It's the sort of thing, I have ordered lamb online, lamb cutlets and stuff, and they come frozen, shipped. You get them generally next day, maybe 2 days. They're well packaged, they're still frozen when they arrive here, so yeah, I've done that occasionally from time to time when I just have that craving for a bit of lamb. But generally, pork and chicken is your meat here. So as long as you're happy with them, and fish. Lots of fish, shrimps, stuff like that, crabs. I don't really do seafood, so that's not really my deal. So I largely pork and chicken. There's also duck, goose. If you're adventurous, there's frog, you can get snake. Various other bits and pieces, but I stick with pork and chicken. I'm a fussy eater. If you want to be able to go and just go to a restaurant and get Western food, Shenzhen, Guangzhou, Shanghai, those types of places with a larger foreign population. The other thing you want to think about is if you come somewhere here, like this, there's not that many foreigners around. They're largely younger at the moment. There was quite a large sort of older community, sort of 40 plus community here pre-COVID. A lot of them seem to have disappeared during COVID. A lot of people went home, and a lot of the people who I've met since, the foreigners who are living here that I've met, are younger. So if you want to be able to find people more in your own age range who are, from a society more similar to yours that you can hang out with and chat with, you want to go to one of the bigger places. Again, Guangzhou, Shenzhen, Chongqing, Beijing, Shanghai. I don't know, there's plenty of them. There's so many places. We're actually laughing. This guy I met this morning, fellow Australian, we were laughing about, how the Chinese refer to their places. Zhaoqing is considered a small city here in China. A lot of people say to me, oh, why are you in such a small city? Well, you've got to understand, from a West Australian perspective, if they put this city in Western Australia, this would be the biggest city in Western Australia by quite a margin. I think Sydney and Melbourne are bigger in terms of population, but that's it for Australia. This would be probably the third biggest city in Australia. So yeah, depending on where you come from. If you do come from a big city, a New York or a San Francisco, the California. California's a state. What's Los Angeles, Chicago? Maybe Zhaoqing is a small city. But if you're from a smaller country town, Zhaoqing's big. In my mind, this is a big place. But yeah, if you want that sort of expat community around you, it's probably not the place for you. there are, yeah, there's better options. I'm a very, very solitary sort of person. I like getting out on my own. I don't really talk to a lot of people much of the time. I enjoy the solitude. I can go days without talking to a single person and be perfectly happy. So yeah, being sort of one of very few foreigners here, I'm okay with that. I don't mind. If I'm in the right mood, I'm happy to go out and socialise and stuff. But I don't really hang out with many of the foreigners here. I hang out with Tony, a couple of the South Africans I catch up with from time to time. We will go over and catch up with this Australian that we met, but I don't need that contact all the time with people. So yeah, this place suits me down to the ground. Trying to think of other advantages, disadvantages for you. Shopping, if you're sort of a shopping sort of person. Actually, I think from the name, I think whoever asked that question was female. So you're pretty well covered. There's plenty of clothing shops and stuff like that here, if you're into that sort of thing. Men, maybe less so. I don't know. I don't do much shopping. I'm not into that stuff. But there's also anything you can't get here, you can get online. You get on Taobao or JD.com or any of the other shopping apps, and you order something, a lot of stuff will be here the next day or within a couple of days. Most of these apps have, I think it's a 7-day return policy, so when it arrives, you can try it on, make sure the fit's right and stuff. If you don't like it, you package it up, send it back. You either get a replacement of a different size or get your money back. And I've not had many problems. I've had one issue with that. And that was I bought where are we here? I bought I can't remember the bloody name, power banks for my phone. I've always got a couple of these that I carry around. So I've got one fully charged because I use it to charge the Pocket 3, charge my phone, charge various other bits and pieces, and I'll have one home on charge. So I'd had a couple that I was really happy with, really liked them, but they were getting old, they were starting to bulge a little bit, they were 4 or 5 years old. So I needed replacements. So I ordered them found the same ones and ordered them, and they sent something totally different. I was after 20,000 milliamp hours, or however they measure the things, and they sent 2 things that were only 5,000. So way too small. They would not last me a day. I would have to carry both of them at the same time, and I didn't want that. So I contacted the seller and said they sent the wrong ones and I want to send them back. And they said, oh, no worries, right. They kept putting me off. And that was when I discovered, I eventually, after about 10 days, I actually contacted Taobao directly and said, these people have sent me the wrong product. I've been charged for, overcharged for this bloody thing that is not what I wanted. And they basically said, well, it's we can't do anything about it. It's too late. And that was when I sort of spoke to Frankel again. Frankel's always been my guy. And he said, with Taobao, don't contact the seller, contact Taobao directly, because they will hold payment for the seller for 7 days. So you pay to Taobao, but they don't give the money to the seller until 7 days after delivery. So you've got that time, if you're not happy, to send stuff back, but you have to go through Taobao, not through the seller. So the seller I think they just didn't want to deal with it, and they knew that if I was dealing with them and not with Taobao, they didn't have to deal with it. So yeah, they're on my blacklist. I'll just never buy anything from them again, which they'll probably dislike, because generally if I find, you know, much with everything else, if I find a brand that I like, I stick with them. On Taobao, I've got a few shops that I regularly go to because they take really good care of me. If I've got questions about products after I've bought something, they're always helpful. And so yeah, I'm a very sort of brand loyal and company loyal sort of person. If they look after me, I stick with them. So yeah, shopping online is really amazing here. I don't know how it compares to shopping online in America with Amazon and stuff. I never really did online shopping in Australia. I still, even here, if I'm looking for something, if I'm looking at buying, like with say the Pocket 3 or my new phone, I could have bought either of them online, but no, I go and look at the shop. I like to go and hold things in my hand. I'm not a big online buyer, so I do generally look for stuff here in Zhaoqing first. If I can't find something here, then I buy online. And online, it is really good here. But I just like to have that touch and feel and see the thing before I buy something. The one thing I do have to buy online is shoes. I'm a size, 46 here in China, size sort of 11, between 11 and 12 in Australia, which I never thought was that big a foot. I know plenty of people who have, you know, back in Australia who have bigger feet than me, but you go into the shops here, most of the shops here with shoes, the maximum size they have for men is 44. So I just can't get anything to fit me here. I don't know what sort of sizes women have, don't know what size your feet are, but yeah, if you've got big feet, shopping can be a mission here. What else can I tell you about living in Zhaoqing? As I said in the last video, we might actually try and link up with some people from some bigger places and some smaller places, and either have a talk to them and get their answers and just do a video talking, relaying their answers, or maybe even have an online conversation, get someone from Guangzhou, someone from Shenzhen, myself here in Zhaoqing, maybe try and find someone from somewhere smaller and do a, you know, four-way chat or something online, and we'll see how we go. I'm still thinking about how to do that. I do actually want to do that chat because I can talk about what I perceive as positives and negatives about Shenzhen or Guangzhou, but I've only visited those places. I've never lived there. So my answers aren't necessarily accurate. But we're going to finish up there. We're coming up on, we're just past over 30 minutes. Yeah, I'm going to jump on my bike. We're off, just going for a little ride, really, just exploring the place. I just came across this thing happening here. I thought we'd come and have a little look. So yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. If you've enjoyed that, like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. Questions or comments, hit us up down there in the comment section. If you have anything you would like to learn about life here in China, in Guangdong, especially here in Zhaoqing, again, down there in the comment section, give us your questions. Let us know what you want to know. You come up with a good idea for a video, I'll go away, do the research, bring you a video specifically on what you want to learn. But for now, yeah, I'm going to jump back on my bike, just go out cruising, having a look around. So thanks for watching, everybody. Stay safe. We will see you all in the next one. Cheers.